Hello friends, our today's topic is the proteins molecules. ठीक है, in the last lecture we have seen the amino acids. Amino acids are the micro biomolecules, means these are small molecules. ठीक है, but the proteins are macro biomolecules, means these proteins are formed by number of amino acids. That's why these are macro biomolecules. These are larger molecules. These are complex molecules, that is the proteins. So proteins are formed from the amino acids. So that's why we have seen the amino acids and now I am starting the proteins. So first of all, the term protein was given by the scientist Berzelius. The term protein is given by the scientist Berzelius, but the molecule which is studied by the scientist Mulder, means Berzelius gives a term protein for the molecule which is studied by the Mulder, and that molecule which is called as a protein by the Berzelius, and that molecule studied by the another scientist, that is the Mulder. So now what is the basically meaning of these proteins? So why Berzelius gives the for that molecule names as a proteins? Because proteins are the important nutrients in our body or in any other organisms. Okay? Proteins are the essential important molecules in our body. Okay? So that's why proteins means prime importance, means such a molecules or the molecules which have prime importance or first importance in our body, such a molecules are called as a proteins. So simply protein म्हणजे काय, तर प्रोटीनचा अर्थ आहे, या शब्दाचा अर्थ काय आहे, प्राइम इम्पॉर्टन्स. ठीक आहे, कोणी दिली ही टर्म, बर्जेलियसने दिली. ठीक आहे, क्लिअर. नाउ द proteins are also called as polypeptides. ठीक आहे, in the last lecture in the amino acids we have seen there is a peptide bond. So the peptide bond helps in the joining of the number of amino acids and which forms the polypeptide chain. Why it is called as polypeptide? Because there are so many bonds are present, so many peptide bonds are present, that is why it is called as a polypeptide. Okay, so that's why proteins are called as a polypeptide. So polypeptide means proteins. Now there are two types of the proteins, that is monomeric protein and multimeric proteins. Monomeric proteins and multimeric proteins. Monomeric proteins means the proteins only have one polypeptide chain or only single chain. Such a proteins are called as a monomeric proteins. म्हणजे असे प्रोटीन्स की ज्याच्यामध्ये फक्त एकच चेन असणार आहे. मग एक्झाम्पल काय, तर असं एक्झाम्पल आहे लायसोझाईम. बघा, लायझोझोम नाही म्हणत आहे आम्ही, लायसोझाईम आर प्रेझेंट इन टू द टीयर्स, into the saliva. This lysozyme is an enzyme which have a bactericidal activity, means which kills the bacteria, okay, which is present in our tears and in our saliva. So that lysozyme is a proteinous structure and which is made up of only one polypeptide chain. So that is a monomeric protein. Then next, multimeric protein. Itself tells multi means many. So there are many polypeptide chains are present, means simply more than one polypeptide chains are present. Example, the best example of multimeric protein is the hemoglobin, which is denoted by Hb, that is the hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is made up of the two alpha chain and two beta chains. There are two alpha chains of the proteins polypeptides and two beta polypeptide chains are present into the hemoglobin. So there are total 4 polypeptide chains, so it is a multimeric protein. Okay. Next, another classification, first class and second class proteins. First class proteins are also called as complete proteins. Why it is called as complete proteins? Because these first class proteins have all essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids, means the proteins which contains all the essential amino acids plus non-essential amino acid, such proteins are called as a first class proteins or complete proteins, and the example of such a first class protein is the animal protein. Example, fish, meat, okay, egg. These are the animal proteins which are derived from the animal. That is why these are called as a animal protein. So animal proteins are a first class proteins. Okay, means those people eats a non-veg, those people gets the first class type of protein, means all type of essential and non-essential amino acids. Then second one, second class proteins or the incomplete proteins. Now why it is called as second class? Because it is inferior than the first class, means lack some amino acids. Second class proteins or incomplete proteins does not contain all the amino acids, that's why it is called as incomplete and second class proteins or second class proteins. The example of such a second class proteins are the plant proteins, or that plant proteins are also called as a veg proteins, vegetarians proteins. Means vegetarians does not get all the type of amino acids through their food, so they have to take amino acids from the outside, okay, in the form of the chemicals, in the form of the capsules and tablets or any other source. So these are the classification, some basic classifications of the proteins. Now next classification is important, okay, that classification is based on the basis of the structure of the proteins. Proteins basically shows the four types of the structures, that is primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure and quaternary structure. These are the four structures which are shown by the proteins, and on the basis of these structures proteins are again classified mainly into the four groups. Means the primary structure protein, secondary structure protein, tertiary structures protein and quaternary structure protein. So now we will see one by one. So first one is the primary structure proteins. Okay, primary structure proteins are linear in structures. These are linear in structures. There is a no branches. There is a no branches. So primary means these are simply long chain polypeptides. There is a no branches. That is the primary structure. It gives, second point, it gives positional information of amino acid. It gives positional information of amino acid. It means that it tells about the position of amino acid, means which amino acid is present at number 1, which amino acid is present at number 2 and which amino acid is present at the end. Okay, so that is simply it gives a positional information. That is a positional information. 1, 2, 3, 4, because it is composed of one by one amino acids, long chain. So obviously it will give the information about the position of the amino acids. Okay, suppose at number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So it gives the information about the position of that amino acids. Okay, so that is simply primary structure, and there is a peptide bond in between the two amino acids. How peptide bond is formed we have seen in the last lecture, that is in the topic of amino acids, how the peptide bond is formed. Now normally the primary structures are non-functional. Okay, primary structures are non-functional. You have to remember this point. Primary structures of the proteins are non-functional. These are not functionally active in our body. Okay, but exception, there is an exception. The exception is the insulin. Exception is a insulin. You heard about the insulin. Insulin is a hormone. Insulin is a hormone. This insulin is secreted by a pancreas gland. Okay, pancreas gland, and inside the pancreas there is a endocrine gland. Okay, we will study these into the hormonal chapters. Okay, hormonal controls. Okay, what is the pancreas and which types of hormones are secreted, which types of the cells are present inside the pancreas. Okay, so here you have to just remember insulin is a hormone which is secreted by the pancreas gland. Okay, so this insulin is also a linear structure. In the primary structure it is a functional. Okay, so exception, we have to remember this exception. Okay, so exception in primary structure is the insulin. Though it is a primary, it shows a primary structure, or it is a linear, it is a functional. So this is the about primary structure. So simply primary structure means there is a linear structure which is normally non-functional, and another one most important point that it gives a positional information about the amino acid, means which amino acid is present at number 1, which amino acid is present at number 2, and up to the last. So this is about the primary structure of the proteins. Our next topic is the secondary structure of the protein. We have seen the primary structure, now the secondary structure of the protein. So secondary structure of protein is formed due to formation of hydrogen bonds. In the primary structure there is only a peptide bond, but in the secondary structure there is one additional bond, there is another additional bond. That additional bond is a hydrogen bond. So that secondary structure is formed due to the presence of hydrogen bond or due to formation of hydrogen bond. So basically it shows two structures. First one is the helix type, that is alpha helix. Okay, alpha helix. Now this dot portion, dark portions are the amino acids, because the long chain of protein is formed by the amino acids, and in between the amino acids there is a formation of the hydrogen bonds. So in between these amino acids there is a formation of the hydrogen bonds, and due to formation of these hydrogen bonds, it gets a 3D appearance. So it will show a 3D structure. Secondary structure of protein will show 3D structure. This is the another important point. Okay, in the question they may be asked which of the following structure will show the 3D structure. So secondary structure shows the 3D structure. Okay, due to of these hydrogen bonds. And these, so in this secondary structure of the protein there are total 2 bonds, that is peptide bond is always present in between the amino acids. So this one is the peptide bond, this one is the peptide bond, because this is the amino acid, this one is the amino acid, and these both amino acids are joined by a peptide bond. But there is an additional bond, that is the hydrogen bond, which gives a 3D structure to the protein. Okay, so peptide bond and hydrogen bonds. Okay, peptide bond and hydrogen bonds. So in secondary structure there are 2 bonds, peptide bond and hydrogen bond, but the bond formation takes place in between the same chain. The bond formation in the alpha helix takes place into the same chain. So example of this alpha helix structure is the keratin. Now keratin is present into our hairs. Okay, into our hair, into nails. So it gives a spiral like structure. It shows a spiral like structure to the which is present in our hair, that is the keratin protein, which shows a spiral structure. Okay, so this is the alpha helix structure of the secondary structure. Secondary structure मध्ये alpha helix आपण बघितलं. अल्फा हेलिक्स केव्हा होतं, जेव्हा सेम चेन मध्ये हायड्रोजन बॉन्ड्स तयार होतात. ठीक आहे, एक्झाम्पल काय त्याचं, केरॅटिन. केरॅटिन हे प्रोटीन कुठे प्रेझेंट असतं, हेअर्स मध्ये, नेल्स मध्ये. ठीक आहे, चला अनदर वन स्ट्रक्चर आहे, that structure is beta pleated sheet structure because it looks like or it gives appearance a sheet like structure. ठीक आहे, it gives a sheet like appearance, that is why beta pleated sheet. आता beta pleated असं का म्हटलंय, because due to the formation of bonds, hydrogen bonds in between the beta carbons or beta atoms. ठीक आहे, so there is a formation of hydrogen bonds in between the two different chains. So this is the hydrogen bonds, but here the hydrogen bond is formed into the different chain. Okay, there are two chains. Suppose this is the C1 and C2. This is C1 chain 1 and this is chain 2. Hydrogen bond is formed in between the two different chain. Okay, this point you have to remember. So in beta pleated sheet there is a two different chains, and in between these two different chain there is a formation of the hydrogen bonds, okay, into the beta pleated sheet structure of the secondary structure of the proteins. Okay, means there are two different chains, and in helical proteins or in alpha helix structure there is the same chain, hydrogen bond is present in between the same chain. Example is the silk fiber. ठीक आहे, सिल्क फायबर, सिल्कवर्म पासून जे आपल्याला प्रोटीन्स मिळतात त्या प्रोटीन्समध्ये आपल्याला असं बीटा प्लीटेड स्ट्रक्चर दिसतं. ठीक आहे, चला. सो हे झालेलं आहे सेकंडरी स्ट्रक्चर. अगेन द सेकंडरी स्ट्रक्चर्स आर ऑल्सो नॉन फंक्शनल. सेकंडरी स्ट्रक्चर्स आर ऑल्सो नॉन functional. It will become functional into the tertiary structure. So that's why this tertiary structure is very important. So now the tertiary structure. Okay, in the tertiary structure it has many chains. I am showing the three chains 1, 2 and 3. It is a very complex structure. Tertiary structure is a very complex structure. Okay, another important point of this tertiary structure is now it is a functionally active. It is a functionally active and it is a specifically functional. Tertiary structure is a specifically functional. Specifically functional म्हणण्याचा अर्थ काय आहे तर it have these chains and these chains have ends and there is a molecules atoms. ठीक आहे, means here the new molecule can be react but such a molecule can react with this tertiary structure which can form the bond with this hydroxyl group and amino group. That molecule only can form the bond with these two molecules and bind with these proteins or involve into the reaction. Okay, same if here is a ketone molecule and here is a carboxyl group. If a molecule, those molecules can bind or can form a bond with this ketone group and the carboxyl group, only those molecules can bind to these sites, and that's why these are called as a specifically functional. Means only specific molecules can bind to that proteins. Example is enzymes. Enzymes are a proteinous structures and which shows a tertiary structure, which are present into the tertiary form. These are not present into the primary and secondary form. Enzymes are present into the tertiary form. Now you know that in our digestive system the protein digesting enzymes only digest the proteins. Okay, pepsin and all these enzymes only digest the proteins. Why they doesn't digest the carbohydrates or lipids? Because protein digesting enzymes have these active sites. So these binding sites are actually called as active sites. And why these protein digesting enzymes only digest the proteins? Because these protein digesting enzymes can only or form the bond only with the protein molecules. With the only protein molecules, these enzymes does not form a bond in between the enzyme and the lipids or carbohydrates. They can form bond only with the proteins. Okay, because proteins only can react with these molecules, can form a bond with these molecules. That's why protein only bind at their active sites, and after binding this enzyme degrade to that proteins, break that large complex molecule into the simple molecules. That is the specifically functional. Means these enzymes only digest specifically to the proteins, does not digest to the any another nutrient. That is why it is called as a specifically functional. Okay, understand what is mean by specifically functional. Now the bond involved into the tertiary structure. Bond involved into the tertiary structure, there are total 4 bonds. Peptide bond is always present in between the amino acids. Now there is a hydrogen bond. Okay, because this is a complex structure, so it will form the hydrogen bond. and two another new bonds are ionic bond and disulfide bond. Ionic bond is formed due to the presence of different types of the ions, okay? And disulfide bond is formed only in those proteins which contains the amino acids with a sulfur, means both amino acids should have sulfur, and then only there is a formation of disulfide bond. This disulfide bond is absorbed into the or found into the antibody. This is a antibody. This antibody means which kills to the antigens which can harm our body. We will study the structure of antibody into the human health and disease. But there is a sulfide bond, means S bond S and S. So this is a disulfide bond. This is a sulfur on this side and this is a sulfur on these sides. So on the both sides there is a sulfur. Okay? On the both sides there is a sulfur, and then only the sulfur bond can form. On this chain and this chain there is a sulfur, and due to this there is a formation of sulfide bond. Okay? Sulfur, sulfur. So for formation of the sulfide bond, disulfide bond, there should be a sulfur on both the amino acids, then and then only there can form a disulfide bond. Okay? So additional two bonds, ionic bond and disulfide bond, are present into the tertiary structure, and tertiary structure is the functional. Okay? Is the functional, and these are the specifically functional. Okay? So understand. Now last topic of the proteins, that is the quaternary structure. Okay? Quaternary structure, it shows the four globular chains. Okay? It shows the four chains, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Tertiary shows the 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is quaternary structure. This quaternary structure is also specifically functional. It is also specifically functional due to presence of the active sites. There are different active sites on the quaternary structure. Now example is the globin of hemoglobin. Basically the hemoglobin which is present in our RBC, okay? Hemoglobin is present in our RBC. That hemoglobin is made up of the two parts, heme part and globin part. Heme part is an iron containing part, there is an iron, okay? And globin part is a proteinous part, means it is formed by the globin chains, means protein chains. Basically the globin part, that protein is formed by the 4 chains, that is 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains, 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains. Okay, so there are total 4 chains, that is what quaternary structure. And again bonds, the bond is same like of this tertiary structure, that is peptide bond, hydrogen bond, ionic bond and disulfide bond. So this hemoglobin helps in the transport of gases, so it can bind only to a specific gases, means only to the oxygen and carbon dioxide and some carbon monoxide. Okay? So this specificity is present due to the active sites. Okay? Due to these like active binding sites, because where the only molecules can bind, those molecules can form a bond with that ends or that active sites. So that's why they acquired a specific function. So this is all about the proteins. We have completed here the proteins.